Ever seen
What is up? We're back, I think.
Are we on?
Can you
It
change
is-
the description
it is
later?
live.
Like, it looks wild.
I don't know if so far everything seems to be running okay.
I'll let you know.
Yep. So far, all the frames seem to be going. We're broadcasting at the right.
Yeah, hey,
Everything-
look,
we
everything's
should be
moving
good.
Right.
All right, looks good. You
It
fixed
started 4 minutes ago.
Yeah, I was like, it always seems to take like a little bit. So
it? What's up,
we
everybody?
seem to be
Welcome
good.
back.
We seem to be good. Yep. Hopefully, everyone's jumping back in now because does not
'Cause,
seem
yeah.
to be choppy. So that's good.
Matt, I'll drop the link for you so you can't find it yourself.
Thank you, sir.
What do you do when I'm not around?
I cried.
Drop in the. I was say
You don't watch YouTube unless
Put
I
it-
send you a video.
Put it in the chat if it's choppy or not choppy.
Oh man.
He's choppy, not choppy. Thank you, JB.
Thank you, JFB. We appreciate that. All right,
Not
I
all
think-
heroes
I
win
think we're
games.
good because we're running now for a little bit now, and I don't have any choppiness yet. I don't see any issues on my side. Good now. Okay. Yep. Robert's good.
Let's roll.
All right. Let's do it. You guys ready?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, that race sucked.
Kyle Larson dominates the race at Bristol. Tires took. I don't even know where to go. Tires took too long. They're made of solid rubber. I had a funny joke, but Jeff's was a lot better. Anyway, what's up? I'm here. We are here for the speed. My name's DJ. I'm joined by.
Hi, I'm Jake. What's up?
It's Jeff or whatever.
What's up, everyone? Matthew here.
Sad
to see
Brad
you.
fan.
Sad Brad.
Brad.
Sad Brad. Sad Brad fan.
Bro, Nate
It
came
is-
out of the pocket with that. That was hilarious.
It has not been the Brad year we've been looking for.
Yeah, bro, I'm right there with you. Chastain has not done anything.
We
No.
Thank God I got a backup with Hamlin, and I'm getting a couple wins.
I don't have a backup driver. I'm just kind of like, yeah, well, this is it.
Well, you do like Busher and Priest, but they haven't done nothing either.
Yep, this was definitely one of our quickest post races ever because there wasn't much to talk about and get prepared for.
Yeah, well, I mean that, and we've been busy the last couple of weeks, birthday parties and stuff. So by the time we got over to the studio,
Yeah, true.
took us like an hour to get on. But we're back, and should be back to normal as quickly as soon as the race is over. We will provide you the post race coverage because Fox does not. Although we did get 4 driver interviews.
At least
today.
4. We
Good
got
job,
4.
Fox, wow.
Hey, they at least gave us 2
One
more.
more than normal because the race was so short.
Yeah, probably.
The race, like 70 to go, or not even, was like 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
What I don't
The
understand.
race was under 3 hours long.
What I don't
Was it
understand.
really?
It
is-
started
yeah,
3 hours
because
ago.
it's
Green flag was
6:11
3
now.
hours ago right now.
Wow.
Wow.
Shortest race.
And
Like-
it's Bristol. This
It's
is Bristol, baby.
500
Bristol.
laps. It was not Bristol, baby.
No.
Jesus.
It
It's
was
Bristol, baby.
It was Bristol Granny.
No, so real quick, we're
Totally
going to go
different.
into, let's just go into it. JFB, you said it didn't suck because Larson dominated. Absolutely not. To me, that has nothing to do with it. To me, is they ran 200 laps on tires and were only falling off lap time 0.2 of a second. This is the problem.
Yeah.
No tire fall off.
Yeah.
None whatsoever. I mean, the only time we had any excitement whatsoever was when Larson would get buried in traffic and like Hamlin could get within a second, like, oh. And then he
That
would
was
get
it. And
through.
it faded out.
Yeah.
I think
I think we, based off of previous episodes, people that have watched, like, we don't have a problem with domination. Actually, we like it typically.
Depending on
But-
who it is.
The overall, this race was just weird, man. It just wasn't good. This is not old Bristol.
So
I'm not a fan.
I think
Anyway, go ahead.
I think the issue for me was when we experienced what we experienced last year, and then we come back here again this year, and it's this. We clearly know what we could have, and then this is what we get now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
knowing what we could have, which was last year, which was great, there was tons of fall off. Whether that was because of the mixture, because of the weather, whatever.
Well, I think it's
whatever it is.
confident we can say it's the weather.
Yeah.
10
I
degrees
think
colder
so.
yesterday. Nobody could go over 40 laps on tires.
Yep.
Exactly
it's
what happened
overcast.
last year.
overcast for sure.
It's track temp. Maybe
Track
not
temp.
not ambient temp. It's whatever the track temp is. The
Yeah.
overcast plus the ambient combined. There's a magic number on that track that if you can get it below a certain degree, what it is the track just doesn't take the rubber.
Right.
So therefore, it's constantly
Grading
abrasing.
the tire.
Yes. Yep. So, but today, sun was out, which it actually wasn't supposed to be on the forecast yesterday. We looked. me
Yeah.
and Matt
It's supposed
did.
to be shady all day.
Yep. So we
Wish
were
it was.
super encouraged, super hyped up. Maybe that's part of the reason why I feel so poorly about this race.
I don't think I have that harsh a take on it because I was barely expecting this.
Oh, I'm hella harsh.
Well, I went really harsh last Bristol race, the fall one, because
Yep.
again,
I'm
Larson
gonna
dominated.
be right there.
And I was really harsh on that. I gave it a 0. I wasn't about it. Now I'm kind of like tempers have tamed. I mean, we saw the best Bristol race in this
Ever.
current gen.
Ever.
I mean, I don't know ever. I don't want to put my name on that.
I
But
went to a bunch of the good ones back in the late 90s and early 2000s.
spring 2024, best Bristol race ever.
The best I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, I agree. It's the best I've ever seen.
I wasn't at the race, but the Dale Earnhardt wrecked Terry Labonte for the win. I mean, I don't know. That's kind of legendary.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
overall product, this race was dope.
Besides one incident and the entire sum of the race, the spring 2024 was pretty wild.
Jeff, off the cuff thoughts besides your
Black flag.
oh, that race sucked.
Black flag.
Black flag.
Just black flag.
Black flag. I mean,
Yarg.
I mean,
Yarg.
no, I think it would have been maybe a yellow flag if Daniel Suarez's crit crew member or pit
What?
crew member got hit by the tire.
Oh,
If he got hit by the tire, it may have been a yellow.
As someone that has
See the
worked
guy
on pit
fly.
road, I take deep offense to this take.
like at least that would have been
as someone w's helped catch
that was
tires,
almost
like,
that was almost the most interesting thing of the race.
yeah, that was a high stakes game of Frogger right there with tires.
And so I mean, like, yeah. Other than
No,
that, I was
in all
not a
seriousness,
fan.
I am glad they didn't get hit. Thank God for that, because
Yeah.
that tire was. It didn't
No,
look that
no.
fast until it hit the car. You're like, ooh, that thing was cooking.
No,
Remember
yeah.
that one guy who was, I think it was part of Joe Gibbs' team, where he was revving the gun and it had the old nut and it hit him in the face and broke his tooth during
Yeah.
that was wild.
That was.
The lug nut coming off.
Yeah, I'm just like, that's the last like pit road incident that was
Remember,
like super
remember when
intense.
we worked Homestead Miami, and the guy got hit by
Yeah, but he
another
wasn't
car?
like bleeding or anything like that.
He broke 3 ribs.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
He broke. Oh my god!
So
no,
a
I just
truck
remember the
slid-
guy with Joe Gibbs and he's missing teeth, bleeding out of his face.
We
Jeez.
were. It was. This was before we were setting up some of the equipment. So we were out on pit road for the truck race. We weren't setting up the pit box, not yet, but we were just getting some stuff close to the fence, getting kind of ready. And like 3-4 stalls down from where we were going to be, we were out there just kind of watching, keeping an eye on, because you can't. There's only so much you can do before the race.
Yeah.
And this guy slides through his box, truck series driver, I forget which one, slides through his box, hits his tire carrier, and smashes the tire into his rib cage, breaks 3 ribs.
Oh my god!
Nice.
I didn't know he broke ribs. I thought he just kind of bounced off.
It was crazy because he was driving away like on a little golf cart, like
Yeah.
in the pit lane, and he looks like a hockey player. Like, I don't know that he had like the missing teeth, but he just looked like that rough, rugged,
Yeah.
you know, like just I don't know how to describe it, like a
Robust.
hockey player, yeah. And he's just over there laughing like
Robust.
he's like, I think I broke some ribs. I was like, wild. And I looked at I was looking at, I forget who it was. One of the team guys was asking me if I was gonna like jump over the wall and be like eventually an over the wall guy. I was like, this is why I will not, because I have to go to work on Monday.
Yeah. Right.
I cannot
can't
break
rest for
3
a
ribs
week.
on a Saturday and not show up on Monday.
Insane.
And the worst is trying to explain it to your work. Be like, yeah, why can't you work? Well,
Well, I played with race cars and one hit me.
What?
I played in the road with race cars.
I played in live traffic.
basically.
Literally.
I tried to play Frogger and I failed.
Yeah. All right,
No.
so let's back it up. Let's talk about this race. We want to talk about ratings?
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well.
ahead,
Yeah,
DJ.
let's jump into it.
Black. Sucked. Boring. Sorry. It's not Bristol.
Black flag, really?
Black flag.
Yeah.
I would rather have watched the dirt races. I would rather than put dirt on Bristol.
We literally said put dirt on it in the middle of the race.
I would rather watch all of the dirt races back to back than watch this.
That's crazy. All right.
You want to go ahead, Matt?
I didn't think it was that bad. It's still a yellow flag, right? I didn't think it was a black flag. I've kind of tempered my expectations towards this track and what it produces. That's not saying it was great by any means, but I mean, that's what we expected Bristol. That's what last fall was. Why are we surprised it's any different? You know, I was hella ticked off last fall when they changed the or they didn't change the compound. They said they didn't, but overnight, hot night, and it didn't produce anything like spring. Well, it's like the minute I saw the cloud coverage on, I was like, this is not going to be what we expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I kind of before
I
they
saw
even started
within-
the race, I already knew what was going down.
It was like lap 25, and I saw the slightest shades of gray coming into the Concord, I was like, it's over.
Yep.
There will be
Yep.
no tire wear.
Yep. So I thought it was yellow. I think there could be a lot better. It's funny you bring up the dirt. I watched one of the dirt races this week. It was on Tubi. Again, the NASCAR channel on Tubi is great. They play a whole bunch of random stuff throughout the week. You just turn it on for background information or background digital content, and you'll just see some cool stuff. They had like a 1980s running of Bristol. They had the dirt Bristol stuff. They had some NASCAR stuff. It was really cool. But I watched one of the dirt races. I was like, this feels like a fever dream. Like it didn't even really happen. You know, like you watch it and you're like, did we really do this? Like, was this part of the sport? And it was a part of the sport for like 3-4 years.
3 years.
3
Yeah.
years, yeah. On Easter Sunday.
It wasn't that bad either. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Not after watching
It wasn't
today.
that bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't great, but it wasn't that
I
bad.
would rather.
They really got it cleaned up by year 3.
They
I'll
did.
throw that out there.
They started
year
figuring it
1
out.
was an absolute wreck,
Yeah.
but it was the most entertaining. But year 3 was probably the most calmed, but it was also like the most. Okay, this feels like a NASCAR race.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, I'll say yellow flag.
I'm going to say yellow because I don't want to say black because like we shouldn't come back because the track isn't the problem. It's the car. This car sucks on the short tracks. Sucks. We're like a capital S. Terrible. I am in the position that I don't think I'm going to attend another short track race until they fix this car. Until you put it on TV and you prove it to me, don't. And I'll encourage every fan. The only way they're going to make a change, let's boycott NASCAR and not go to short tracks.
Wow.
Just don't go. Just do not go. If the racing sucks balls like it did today,
But a lot of
don't
people
go.
like the race.
Bro, there was nothing to like about this race.
Well, they need to have consistency with it
Like
too.
you want to go caution free at Dover, whatever, Michigan, sure.
I don't
Those
mind.
tracks are known for that. Bristol is not known for that. Here's a story. We were talking in a group chat
Yeah.
with some friends that all watch racing, and they were talking about like Bristol back in the day. I remember when they changed Bristol because I went to Bristol from 94 to late 2000s, like a 15-year run.
All right, Grandpa.
Whatever.
He's
I remember when they changed Bristol and they repaved it and they resurfaced and added the progressive banking. The first race they did that, they had the first green flag pit stop at Bristol and people booed the green flag pit stops and 20% of the people left the track.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not Bristol. That's just not what you go for.
Huh.
Like it's the bump and run. It's the slipping and sliding. I remember going to Bristol in the early 2000s, the late 90s, you like 20, 30,000 people would show up for qualifying because there might be some people spin out. Like it was intense.
Yeah.
You
Dude,
know?
there's no one in qualifying.
Dude, nobody.
Nobody for practice and qualifying.
Nah, because the
I
junk,
get-
the
listen,
stuff sucks.
I get why NASCAR doesn't want to have it. I get it. Why put on the whole show for practice and qualifying if no one's going to show up? I get it.
No one wants to show up because the race sucks. So why would you even show up?
Yeah, it's like a double-edged sword. Like it is. I don't.
The thing
know?
is that they'll make it good, but then it's like last year. It's like you watch a really good race and then they change it, and then it sucks. You know, I don't know.
I don't know
That's
that
what I'm
they
saying.
changed
You're like,
anything.
you're well. What I mean, I guess what I mean is you're saying like, oh,
There's potential.
oh, I'm not gonna go to another short track until they fix it. But then they're gonna fix it. But then they're gonna change it again. That's just what. At least that's what I
mean,
noticed with NASCAR.
Here's my thing. Do
You know,
you
they
guys
just
have
change too
any
much.
incentive to go buy fall Bristol race tickets?
None.
No.
Not a bit.
That is a major problem. That is a red flag of all red flags.
Yep.
NASCAR, if they do not fix this short track, they will 100% kill this series and will be like IndyCar with a couple 100,000 viewers within 5 years. They have to fix this. And the next, you have to fix super speedways.
Yeah.
Because, yes, 3 wide is cool for like 20, 30 laps straight. It's cool. It looks fun to the average viewer, all this and that. But when everybody when it becomes the norm, when they don't do it, nobody's going to watch.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they got to fix the super speedways too. But so RG asked, why do they change Bristol? Who the hell knows? Nobody knows. It was perfect, selling 170,000 people every race, spring and fall, and they changed the track. Why? Because they're idiots, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know either.
That's a great question for the Smith family. Like, I
mean,
I don't know.
Again, you look at it, and if we can look at, sorry, our sign keeps distracting me because it keeps like glitching out.
I don't know why it's doing that.
Yeah, I don't either.
Kinda
It's
funky.
on vibe mode.
Oh, apparently.
Yeah.
So yeah, the issue I have is just like I said, I think this kind of proves to me, this race proves the tire is the issue.
To me, it's not the tire.
See, I think, okay, you're probably not wrong, but I think it could be fixed with the tire. Let me rephrase
No,
that.
why? We've tried this for 2 years.
Because we had
It's not the tire.
we
If
had
it's
it-
10 degrees colder, it's a perfect race.
exactly.
So
It's the tire. The tire is not operating at the right temperature, or they need to find a compound that does what that tire does at 10 degrees higher.
what if they say they can't?
BS. I don't
know,
buy
man.
it.
I don't know.
There was a tire that did it.
Why don't you just put
Already
these
had this
cars
argument with you
with
guys.
1,000 horse, not even 1,000, go 800 horsepower.
I do agree with that.
Here's another idea. Take the tire that's so much wider than it's ever been, right? Like we
Narrow
have
it
this
down.
tire here. It's 4 inches wider than this tire.
Glory.
Why did we get more tire? That is the opposite of what makes NASCAR racing great. NASCAR racing is great because the cars handle like crap. And they beat and bang trying to get everything they can, right?
Yep.
So they need to make the tire smaller. Go back to center door numbers. No.
Here we go.
No, but I mean, like more
What-
horsepower and make the contact to the track smaller.
I think that's how you fix it is the horsepower. at this point.
Horsepower, I think you
Like I
got
don't want to just say
a
like,
big
oh,
jump.
here's the next fix, but it's like if you have more horsepower, you're shredding the tires more.
yeah.
yeah,
It's,
absolutely.
I
it's a
th-
give and a take.
it
Like,
has
you don't
to
have
be
to
a
get a
big
softer
jump.
tire. You need a faster, stronger car.
Goodyear's already said they can't make anything softer. The option tire is as soft as they can go without completely redoing their entire operation.
And they
Correct.
can make a faster engine. They did it before. I know they can.
Bro,
Well, shoot.
the
Well, the Le
motor
Mans-
they have right now,
the Le Mans car. They immediately just said, "Oh, well, just do 100 more horsepower."
the engine they run right now is a 1,000 horsepower engine with a tapered spacer, restrictor plate, same thing,
yeah,
similar but
Similar.
different, that reduces the horsepower down. The engine already makes 1,000 horsepower.
it can do it.
Yes.
I think all the teams should just cheat. Just come together, put more horsepower in it, and then what's NASCAR going to do? DQ
You gonna
all of
DQ
them?
all of us?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one
I
guy.
like that. I
You
like
know
that.
what?
What are you
we
gonna
got
do?
it. We got it. We got
That's
an
what we're
idea.
changing the rules there, buddy. There's
I
going to
like
be
it.
that one team. The 47 is going to be like, nope, we're going to run the regular
This
engine.
is
They're
our
going to be the
only
only
chance.
car out there.
Yeah.
Everyone,
Yeah, I mean, it's
oh,
just like what kills me is
What a way
like
to
I
go
just
win.
remember, I went to so many Bristol races. I mean, you'd see like 20, 25 lap green flag runs. I mean, that was it.
Huh.
You know what I mean? The other part that sucks about this, you run 250 laps green. We all know how loud Bristol is. Well, DJ doesn't know.
Oh,
Not
it's
yet.
deafening.
What are you going to do for that hour and a half? You can't talk to anybody. You can't say anything. So you sit there by yourself and watch the race. Like there's no fun hanging out. There's no like, oh man, hey, did you see this? There's none of that. You can't talk.
So
Yeah.
You watch 50 laps, something happened on lap 10, and when the caution comes, like, hey, did you see that on lap 10? That's how it goes at Bristol.
So Bristol,
a good point.
Martinsville, those are the tracks where like cautions are necessary. You
Absolutely.
got to have
Short
cautions.
tracks.
Bro.
Excuse me. I would
They
say
gotta
all
fix
of them,
this,
but
man.
Bristol, Martinsville, you have to have the cautions.
I-
You have to have the break. You got to go to the bathroom. You got to go get concessions. You know, you got to sit down and talk. I mean, you can only use, sign language and hand language. when
Texting
you're-
each other.
Not even like, bump and run or sparking.
Oh, there's a
or-
whole little like.
there's a whole thing like smoking. Like, oh, yeah, there's a whole like,
Yeah.
you learn it.
Yeah.
And that's how you communicate. But it's like, if you're going 200 laps without a caution, you can't hear any. Like, you just sit down and you're like, everyone sees what's going on. I've been that way at like Daytona when they have long runs and it's like, oh, they're doing 30, 40 laps. They're all just chugging along single file. It's like, yeah, you just got to sit there like, we'll wait.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It will come. But it's
Yeah.
like, we'll wait. I couldn't imagine doing it for 200 laps. I'm going to be honest. You need to have a little bit more action on track.
Yeah, I mean, and there
couldn't do
was
it.
some action, but the cars, like, to me, like, is it kind of cool watching Kyle Larson, like, dive through, go 3 wide, make these moves, shoot the middle.
That
like,
part was
cutting through.
interesting.
Yeah, but that is the tale of the car has way too much freaking grip.
Yep.
Has way too much. The car is way too good.
I
It's
don't
ridiculous.
I understand that the reason NASCAR doesn't want to go the higher horsepower is because of adding another manufacturer.
Where are they?
Yeah.
This has been the excuse for 10 years.
First off, one of them that has been heavily rumored is Dodge. all of their engines make more horsepower than the Cup car does
My
now.
truck has more horsepower than the Cup car.
I'm pretty
does
sure
now.
my hybrid minivan has more horsepower.
That's a little bit too far.
might
But
be a little
I mean,
bit.
I get
At
you.
least he didn't bring in the Kia.
It's not far. Let me put it that way.
My thing is, like,
not too far.
if Honda and Kia want to join NASCAR, make a V8 and let's talk.
Yeah.
Until then, get the hell out of here. You're not welcome. Make a V8 engine that makes 800 horsepower. This is a series of V8 800 horsepower, 900 horsepower engines.
Yes.
You make minivans and 4-cylinder cars.
Are they still using?
You
that?
make Honda Civics.
Are they
You
still
want
making that
to.
torque sensor?
It might not even be able to make it on pace car speed. Like,
Okay, they're not that slow. Like,
will they make minimum time?
probably.
To
torque
me, like,
sensor
why
thing?
why
I
are
don't
we
know.
conforming to that? Like, what the heck, man? That makes no sense to me.
I have no clue, man.
You talk about the torque sensor? The
Yeah.
torque sensor is coming.
I mean,
No,
if
is
I-
it like in the cars? It's
Not
like
yet.
test things.
I
Like,
think they can put it in if they want to, but it's not.
I didn't know if
required
like
yet.
one car from each team or one car from each manufacturer is running them as like sensors.
They could be. But
You just don't know. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I was just wondering.
There's no news or anything.
know
Next time
that-
we go to the track, we should ask some questions about it.
Not a whole lot to talk about. Like, obviously, this race, we've kind of gone on and beat this dead horse as much as possible.
Yeah. As far as
Um,
the Cup race, I mean, Larson,
yep.
great win, great dominating win, but I mean,
Dominated.
there's just not much else we can.
The
really
only
talk
other
about.
thing that really happened in the race that was anything notable was you had SVG and the 10 car. Was it AJ? No, it wasn't 10. It was
51. Cody
51.
Ware.
Cody Ware. You're right. They get into a thing. SVG spins. That was our
Almost
only.
collects Denny.
That almost collects Denny. That was our only natural caution at a Bristol race.
Or
That is
SVG.
disgusting,
That,
man.
just that kind of hurt saying that. Just honestly, other than that, there is not much else to talk about with the actual Cup race. Larson dominates the whole race. The ending of the race runs. I don't remember how many laps it was at the end, but it was probably 150, 200 laps or close to that on that last run, and then still does a burnout, a massive burnout. There's still not cords showing at the end of the burnout.
You guys ready for a crazy stat?
Oh, geez. Here we go.
Out of the last 2 Bristol races, ready for this?
I'm waiting.
Out of the last
No, I wasn't listening.
1,000 laps, Kyle Larson has led 873 of them.
What about the last 3 Bristol races? It's still the same number.
I
I don't think he led anything during spring.
That's crazy.
I don't remember. No, probably not.
No.
Maybe a couple, maybe on the green flag shuffles. Dude, that's
It's pretty good.
again. Don't mind the dominance. It's fine. Be dominant, but I just want tire fall off.
Yeah.
I felt bad about last week. The guy who dominated the race didn't win.
I
Who?
mean,
Last week,
Who dominated last week?
the 12 passed someone. I felt bad for him.
Reddick? No.
Oh my gosh, I'm like
Yeah, it was
totally
Reddick.
blanking on
Was it
last
Reddick?
week.
Yeah. Reddick?
No.
Was it Hamlin? No, Hamlin.
Hamlin won.
Hamlin won, but he only won by 1 lap.
Briscoe? No.
No.
Wow, we're totally drawing a blank.
Wow.
Chat, we
Help
need
us
help.
out.
We need
Who
help.
dominated last week? I forgot. I still felt bad about it. Because remember, Blaney was running him
race
down.
got
It was
us.
definitely the 45 he was running down.
Yeah.
And
Maybe it was Reddick that was dominating. I don't know.
Wow, and how many has Brad completed? That's rude.
RG is so rude.
I love how JFB says in the chat, he's like, Kia makes cars to get stolen too easily.
Bro,
That's
fact.
real.
Bro, if Kia makes its way in the NASCAR, then everyone needs to get right with the Lord, bro. He's coming back. He's coming
Byron.
back.
I remember reading
Byron
in
was the
Revelation
driver that
Jesus
dominated.
comes back when Kia comes in NASCAR.
I'll
Is
have
that
you
something
know.
about when the olive tree blooms again?
Ooh,
Yeah, it was Byron.
it was Byron.
boy. That was a beautiful.
Thank
skit.
you, chat. Thank you for that. So, all right, let's talk about the early.
That's it with Cup, right?
That's it.
We're done. There's
That's
all we
nothing
got.
else.
That's it. That's
Shame.
You guys want to know why we were able to get back on the post race so early? That
No
was
notes.
why. There wasn't
Cue
many
the
notes.
music. So
All
let's
right.
talk about Xfinity. Guess what happened? Larson led the whole thing again.
I did not watch any of it.
Yes,
Yeah.
you did. It
I
looked
watched
just
the
like
first lap
it looked
and the
just
last
like
lap.
today.
Oh.
It was identical.
Is it really
He-
that bad?
He lapped up to 13th in the Xfinity. He lapped up to 11th today or 9th.
I would say it was 9.
Same race,
There was
bro.
9
Same race.
Think about that. There was in the NASCAR.
and you know who was
Cup
chasing him?
Series.
The 11 and Corey Haim, or not Corey Haim. Corey Haim was in the truck racing 11.
No, not Taylor.
Anyways, whatever.
Allgaier?
Chased
Yeah.
him the whole time, just like Denny Hamlin did. I'm telling you, bro, it was deja vu from last night.
That's insane.
Oof.
Yeah,
Just-
it was.
You think it's got to be the car at that point?
Think about this.
Huh?
It's got to be the car at that point, right?
I don't think the Xfinity race at Bristol has been very good for a long time. It has some that like really are pretty good, but it's like I don't know. It's been mid, not bad, but just mid.
They started the race at what, 5?
Mm-hmm.
5 o'clock? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was. You also had a.
Trying to see correlations here between
had
today and
a-
yesterday and Friday.
You had a massive.
Completely different tire.
Yeah.
Completely different.
You had
That's
a
fair.
massive wreck with Sheldon Creed
my God.
and Brendan Poole.
That was wild.
Yeah. What happened with that?
So,
So
go
yeah,
ahead.
you were inside. That was funny. Jinx.
that was.
Jinx.
You want to do it?
No, you go.
Okay. So
Shall tell you guys
Sheldon
what
Creed spins out after contact with a car. Can't remember which one. Irrelevant. He gets spun by the 26. Who's that? Whatever. He gets spun out. Anyways, he
Wow.
gets spun out. He's
To be
sitting
fair, we
sideways
did
on-
have a birthday party while this thing was going on, so like we
I was
were.
hosting, so I couldn't watch.
Yeah.
the 26 was sideways on the track, and the 44, the 14 barely missed him. The 41 or 44 did not.
That was
Clipped.
Brendan Poole, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
clipped him. He turns left, sliding sideways, hits him with Brendan Poole's right rear, the 44's right rear, in the left front of Sheldon
Creed's.
Creed. I mean, obliterates both cars,
Holy cow.
especially the 44.
Yeah, I saw the
Whole
whole
door
side,
side ripped
all the
off.
foam. I think it ripped out the
The
rear
end,
whole rear end,
whole rear
Yeah.
end ripped
axle
out.
system. Like I'm like, holy crap!
That was the second biggest wreck I've ever seen at Bristol.
Yeah,
Yeah, first biggest wreck I ever saw. Well, I guess we're not counting the Michael Waltrip one. That's great.
I didn't see that.
Oh, you haven't seen that?
I don't think so.
Oh my god!
I might have throughout the videos we've seen, but
He hit
I
the
can't
hit the
recall.
gate for like going in and out.
Yeah.
And it broke, and his
Ooh.
car ripped in half.
Oh,
Oh,
no!
I do remember seeing that.
Yeah. Oh, bro, I got.
He walked out of that.
He was.
Oh yeah, I was.
heavily concussed and confused. He was knocked out.
That was insane.
No, like they literally pulled the roof off, and he unbuckled and stepped out.
Wow.
Of dude, it's insane. I
I
gotta
have
show you
seen-
this.
Okay.
It doesn't even when you look at the leftover of the car, there's nothing left. It doesn't even look like a race car. It looks like a pile of junk.
Holy cow!
Yeah, I gotta show you that. Yeah, see, he knows Walter. That was a nice race. Anyways, the other one I saw an Xfinity race back in the day when it had to be late '90s, maybe early 2000s. Somebody wrecked and rode the wall, got hit up and rode on the left side like this around the corner.
No way!
Yeah,
Holy crap!
yeah, it was pretty wild. Because I believe it was in turn 3. Because we were. Oh yeah, look, here we go. Can you put this on the thing?
I don't.
Not that
think
quick.
so. Not. Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Doesn't even look like a car.
Wait, it wasn't a Coliseum back then.
No,
What?
I wasn't. To clarify, I'm not that old. I wasn't here for that race, but shredded,
my
bro.
gosh.
Shredded. Sorry, guys. We would have had this up
Yeah,
and ready, but
w-
we weren't planning on going.
this
here.
kinda-
See, look,
spur of the
there's
moment.
nothing left.
You can
So
Google
literally,
it.
They pull that roof off.
It's literally on
And he's
NASCAR's
sitting right there.
YouTube channel. You could find it pretty easily. Just Michael
I am
Waltrip
in shock. He
crash
lived.
at Bristol Motor
Bro,
Speedway.
there's nothing left.
Something about the '90s, man. I
Like
don't
Daryl
know.
Waltrip crying. He's like, he's a Waltrip. He pretty tough. Like something like that.
I believe it, man.
Come on, Mikey.
Man,
yeah,
I gotta go
he,
find this guy's beer now.
Bro, right? Oh, look, hey, look, there's, bro, you gotta listen to the interview because you can tell he is still definitely concussed.
Holy cow, man! I'm glad he.
This
walked
is
away
why
from
we
that.
get the,
That's crazy.
This is why we get the pit road walks we get today because of this hit.
Making sure all the
totally.
gates are closed. Making sure-
Is that Bristol gate closed?
Well, I'm glad he walked away. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was crazy wreck.
So nothing
Anyways,
crazy, nothing really else with Xfinity. No other
that was it.
cautions. No.
There might have been a couple spins here or there, but nothing really worth
Nothing.
putting in the news,
Nothing
you
of
know.
any
Typical Xfinity.
So yeah, that was pretty much Xfinity. Now trucks. There was one. We had kind of an interesting thing with trucks.
Trucks was probably the best race of the weekend. I ain't gonna lie.
Trucks was absolutely the best
Oh,
race
yeah.
of the weekend.
Who would have
Yeah.
thought?
Well, I mean,
I mean,
no
a lot of
practice or
times it
qualifying. That kind of helps the trucks.
That's
you
true.
It
know?
really does, actually.
Throw them out there.
So
Good luck.
if you guys
Run.
if you guys didn't get a chance to check it out, we did get a chance to interview Tyler Tomasi on our channel. We had an interview with him, and he actually was running in the truck race this week.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Had a good run, too.
Yeah, he started at 31st, ended up 22nd.
Yep.
Sorry, 22nd, 21st. I'm sorry. And I was listening to his radio the whole time. The team was like, "Hey, man, they had an issue at the beginning of the race, kind of messed him up, got him behind the 8 ball, and then they were playing catch up the rest of the race. But they seemed pretty confident that with the way everything fell, they could have been in top 15 to top 20 if that hadn't happened. So definitely a pretty solid run for him. So definitely
I think
super
he
cool.
finished 20th.
21st.
21st. Yeah.
But they said like had they not had that issue at the beginning because he stopped too short, I think it was, or something. So they had to back it up, or maybe he went too far. I don't remember. It was something with
Pretty sure it's
lining
his
up.
first run at Bristol too. That's
I
his first.
think it
believe
was.
so.
Yeah.
First
So
run there.
cool.
had some issue with it getting in there, and then they had to jack it up, and then they had to drop it, move up, and then re-jack it. So
Yeah.
that kind of just killed it. But I mean, still getting out of there with the 21st, not bad.
Taking a run, man.
Yeah,
That's great.
definitely.
Good run.
Great first. You
I
ran
mean,
the whole
coming
race.
from the back
Congrats.
to get there.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
With no practice qualifying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty solid.
exactly.
Super solid.
So yeah, basically everyone was talking about driving on ice, and everyone was slipping, sliding all
You
over
could
the
tell.
place.
If you were
rain.
watching it, you could see
That track was
comers
cold.
and goers. Tires mattered.
Big time.
Yeah,
Huge tires mattered.
They hit definitely a cliff. 70, no, not that many. 50 laps maybe.
Yeah.
After about 50 laps, you
Gone.
lost everything. You
Gone.
lost all
Mhm.
speed.
There was one driver who parachuted backwards. Do you remember that? Was it the
Riggs.
40? No, it wasn't Riggs.
Riggs
did.
did.
Yeah, Riggs did. No, it was Curry. Bailey Curry.
Oh yeah, he was running
he started
real
up
solid.
front, or he was up front. He ran really great.
And
You
then
know,
all
he
of a
got up
sudden,
front,
whoosh.
restarted, did not get tires, gone, moving chicane. First to like 25th in like a half a lap. It
Wow.
was
It was bad.
insane.
It was I forgot about that one.
Yeah, Ben Rhodes, same idea. Kind of, he was just loose all
He
night.
struggled all night.
He struggled. He was lucky to be where he was.
He kept
and-
getting track position by staying out or something, and would just go straight to
and
the
it just
back.
hurt him in the back in the end.
We
I'm like, what are y'all doing out here, man?
I mean, really, the car to beat was the 38. The 38 was just class of the field. Chandler Smith.
Yep.
Chandler Smith.
Larson was almost there, but there's that one caution that's kind of screwed his strategy up.
No, he was
he
fine.
got the speeding,
Speeding
penalty.
penalty.
100
That's why
to
he
go.
lost it. So that
Went to the back, grabbed tires, 20th to 2nd.
that speeding
so
penalty
we talked about
Ouch.
this. Kyle Larson this close again
to a sweep.
He did it
to
to
another
himself.
sweep.
Did it to himself, man.
Yeah.
Could've done
Last
it.
time wasn't his fault.
I'm sure this will be on the books again next year or later in the year, something like that.
He's allowed 5 of each, right? So go for
Yeah,
it.
I could totally see it. So
Oh, of
all in
course.
all, I thought the truck race was phenomenal.
It was
Started a weekend off right.
It was kind of funny
We
because
should have just ended it there.
Yeah, right.
You had
Yeah.
a caution with 20 laps to go for rain and sprinkles.
It was sprinkles, but it was also snow flurries.
It was
Yeah,
also
it was
flurries.
weird.
It was really weird. Like,
I was talking to somebody that we know that was there, and it was definitely flurries.
yeah, really?
100%.
That's insane.
Oh,
I mean, you
man,
go
you're-
from such a
you're-
cold Friday night to probably a pretty warm
in comparison, yeah.
Sunday.
High of 60 today, I think. So,
Yeah, but people were walking around in shorts and stuff like that. Like, you did not see that on Friday night.
no.
Everyone
No, dude.
was
Everybody's in blankets,
bundled.
like, up to their eyes.
Yes, they're like, this is the worst. I hate this.
I mean, y'all hardcore out there on a Friday night for a truck race in the freezing cold.
Hey, man, if I'm there, I'm watching a race.
They showed like that one video of the kid drinking the water. He's like, his hand shaking. I was like, yo,
That's
Dad,
Joking.
get him some warm clothes, bro. Like, come on.
You
His
had,
dad's over there just drinking a beer. Just
I'm
like
good.
that.
Nice and warm.
I remember distinctly one time, I think it was a truck race, even out in Daytona, which, we're Floridians, so, 60 degrees is cold.
Hey,
But-
Daytona's cold sometimes.
But Daytona can be cold sometimes. I remember like one time back when they still had the bleachers,
yeah.
bro, those bleachers were cold.
Me and
man.
Matt went to the coldest race of Daytona ever, man.
It was my
that's
first
crazy.
truck race, or first race in general to go to.
Truck race, 34 degrees.
It was
Ouch.
cold.
That was cold.
The coldest
That was a cold race,
the-
dude.
coldest I ever remember was when we went to the Clash that one time and we camped. And that was before we RV
Oh,
camped.
yeah.
Oh,
it was
that was
29 degrees that
cold.
night.
I think it was 22 with like a
I don't
15
know.
mile an hour
It was
wind.
cold.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
cold
we
enough.
tent camped.
It was cold enough where Matt and Megan were in their truck, and I like knocked on the door. I'm like, "Can I come in?"
I got it. So we used the truck because I had heated seats. So
Well, originally you were in the bed in a air mattress.
I would jump back and forth. So like every 2 hours, because the air mattress would lose air because it was so cold, the air would condense. and my butt was on the steel. It was so cold.
Yeah, I figured out the hack. You drink enough whiskey, doesn't matter. You're gonna sweat all night. I
Yeah.
stayed so warm.
Lindsay did say this.
She's like, I'm so glad you had enough to drink that I stayed warm too. she slept right next to me all night.
I think that was the same year you had the Volt for the first
did.
year, and you
Yeah.
used it as a giant battery.
I used it as a generator.
a
Yeah.
generator.
So the worst part was it worked really good, but the thing is about like using an electric car as a generator, they don't like cold weather. So like literally like after 2 hours, the batteries are completely depleted and it starts running the engine. Also, and it's like the engine just runs on, and I'm like, in
I
the
was
middle
running my
sleeping.
truck, dude.
Yep,
The cold
I
start
heard you.
on my Ram.
Yeah.
It was loud. I was like, I'm freezing. Warm up.
Sorry.
It's
Sorry,
like
everybody.
2:30 in the morning, 3
Yeah.
o'clock in the morning.
All night for the rest of the night.
Nobody's out partying because it's just too dang cold.
Yep.
There's so many good stories
But
from that
I
weekend.
just
Yeah.
remember
That was one of the most fun trips I think I've
I
ever
just
had.
remember like sitting in the stands for the chuck race, and it's like crazy cold, and then it's already cold, but then the whole pack goes by, and then you get that
a
like
blast of
residual
wind.
wind that like
Yeah.
happens
Like
after.
the whole pack goes back, you watch them in turn one, and all of a sudden there's this massive gust of wind.
and you're just like, like it just freezes
I'm gonna
you
be
up
honest.
real quick.
The most miserable I've seen Nate is at a cold race.
Oh, yeah.
He has not been to cold races. He's been to chilly races, but not cold.
No, so last year's 500 when y'all left and me and him stayed, the Xfinity race ran after the 500. One of the coldest races I've ever been to.
No, I went to.
No, when you
Oh,
left
yeah,
with
yeah.
pneumonia
Yeah,
and we stayed for the Xfinity race.
that was horrible.
And it was us and about 15 other people in the grandstands. Bro, it was so cold. Like, I remember we walked back. We were so excited that the race was over so we could start walking and warming up, and we didn't warm up from walking. And we got all the way to Pool Bar in turn 3, and our legs were just numb from the cold.
Wow.
Totally numb. Because, like, for the 500, it wasn't cold.
Yeah.
Like, it was a little chilly. Like, throw
Yeah.
your race jacket on. Like, no
Nothing
big deal.
Too bad.
And, dude, it got down into the 40s. And
Dude,
we had nothing on.
I'm not gonna lie.
Brutal.
That's
Another really cold one was when you and me went to the Freedom Factory, and we're on the inside of
That was cold.
that was cold
That was cold.
because we were stuck on the inside.
That was this year.
That was we were stuck on the inside of the race while all this short track is just going, and dude, it was all we had to sit on was a concrete block wall.
Concrete barrier.
like
That
one
was pretty
Gosh.
miserable.
that was awful.
Well, since we're going down memory lane, the hottest race was Pensacola.
That
You
was-
want to talk about dying?
That was miserable too.
Bro,
I
I
don't know,
remember.
there was
I
one
remember.
time-
Remember we went
Took
in
our
between
shirts
the
off?
race after the super late model race, before the SRX race. We went and hung our shirts on the outside of the car so they would
Oh,
try to
yeah.
dry out in
Yep.
the sun.
Because we were drenched.
We sat in the car for what was it, like 30 minutes to an hour just to have
I mean,
AC.
Yeah, we were.
Did I drive home
dying,
from that?
bro.
I think everyone took turns.
I drove
did,
all the
and
way.
I think you and me split on the way home.
I was falling asleep. I had to have been. I think I must have pulled over and let you go because I don't even remember driving.
There was-
think
there
it
is-
you and
I
me.
remember driving the way there. I'm like, dude, Florida's way too freaking big.
The fact that you can go to Pensacola and be in a different time zone in the same state is absolutely
The
insane.
fact that we live halfway up the state of Florida and it still takes 6 hours to get there.
That's crazy, bro.
ridiculous.
You want to know what's wild?
Like, you want to go to Pensacola or you want to go all the way to Talladega? Why is it the same amount of time?
You know what's really wild is if you were to go from Pensacola to Key West, it's the same distance as going across the entire state of Texas.
Whatever.
That's pretty
God.
insane.
No,
Too
I'm
far.
not kidding.
Too
That-
far.
It's basically
America's
the same.
almost too big. Why
Hey,
does everybody live in one spot?
JFB says the Alaskan King Crab 500. That sounds delicious.
That really
Sweet.
does.
You know, I'm totally down.
Speaking of hot
Are
races,
they out front the gates giving out free?
Here's a
free
crab leg.
legs?
Here's a crab leg.
Speaking
Show
of-
them your pictures.
Speaking of hot races, I remember one race in particular. And I think it was only me and Jake there. It was the ARCA race. Remember that one ARCA race we went to, and it was crazy hot
Which
in
one?
the afternoon, and the cars were sliding because it was so hot.
No,
'cause
we
of
were all
oil.
there.
What,
You were
I don't
there.
remember.
Matt
I don't
was
remember.
there.
Maybe
What
I'm
track?
like I'm
Daytona.
mixing up. I'm maybe mixing up my stories, but I
No,
just
yeah.
remember there was one ARCA race that was just particularly hot, and it was like at like noon, like right at noon.
Yeah, that's
we
the
were-
same one you're talking about.
Yeah, it was like right at noon, and so like the sun, like the way Daytona's like set up, we were like a freaking
We were
fish
roasted.
fry.
We're
You
sitting
know,
in
we-
the seats, and the sun is just
It's
staring
just
right
like
at us.
like I don't even know how to describe it because it's just like the sun could not be any more
direct.
at
Yeah.
us.
There's not even like there's nowhere you could put your arm to be in the shade, like block
No.
your
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
The hat didn't help. Like
No,
it was
I feel
was
like
brutal.
if that was
it
the
was
sign.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, that was the one where they had that huge wreck in turn 1.
oh yeah,
and,
and the
I'm
oil.
listening to the channel for whatever ARCA driver, and they all like there's all oil all over the track, and the entire field goes up in turn 1 under pace speed, including the pace car, and everybody just starts sliding.
They're
down the
all
track. And I'm
wrecking.
looking at Matt. I'm like, Matt, they're all wrecking. And then the guy comes on the radio. He's like, slow down. They're all wrecking in turn 1. Like this is the way the spotter said this. I was crying.
Wasn't that
laughing.
like the NASCAR
They're
spotter?
all
Like
wrecking. No.
the
It was
tower?
it was one of the car guys, but he's like, slow down, Jimmy. They're all wrecking. Like, I don't know, bro. It was hilarious. I was crying.
that's
Yeah,
hilarious.
But that one's
right.
pretty rough.
So back to the last thing with the truck race. Sorry, that was a long story time
Long
tangent.
tangent.
But Lane Riggs had
super fast, man. He did really good.
but apparently
It's some spicy comments.
post
Oh,
race.
what'd he say? I
Yeah,
missed
post
this.
race was I don't know exactly what he said, but he called NASCAR out on running the racetrack with PJ1.
They said
What'd
he
he
said
say?
NASCAR sure knows how to ruin a race by adding PJ1 on the bottom.
It was a good race.
That's what I
It
thought.
was the best race we had all week.
But he was mad because his teammate won.
Oh my god.
Oh, he was
It
super
was, it was
spicy.
a good race.
So I mean, so I kind of put that in there because I wanted to see what the rest of the weekend looked like. The PJ1 definitely helps the races. I'm not like standing alone on this, right? Like it definitely
Depends
helps.
how it's applied. When applied correctly, absolutely.
I don't think it did anything for the truck race because it was just too cold.
Well, it brings the bottom back in.
Right. It's supposed to.
Yeah, because like the thing with the
And on a
progressive
hot,
banking
sticky
at Bristol,
surface-
it doesn't with Bristol. Let's clarify, right? Bristol with the progressive banking, because the upper groove has more banking. The upper groove is the fastest way around the track. Just so you know, this is why everybody was so mad when they reconfigured the track, because it was a single groove racetrack around the bottom. It was amazing. It was perfect. They ruined it. They screwed it all up. So NASCAR started adding PJ1 to the bottom
Right.
to bring it into more of a two groove racetrack.
Right.
I thought it was great.
I thought it was good too.
Yeah.
I didn't want to stand alone on this hill, and I was like, okay, for the truck race, I could see where it doesn't work that well because it's not hot and slick and sticky.
Yeah, it takes
Right?
like 5-6 laps for it to get a little hot, but it gets there. It's definitely icy in the first couple laps.
Yeah, he
Which
was
is
not a
fine.
fan. He did not like it.
I mean,
he
whatever.
was not a fan.
It's funny how
Here's my
people's
question.
But his
opinions
teammate won, so-
change when they are
Here-
the winners.
Here's my question: if they were going to run wet tires, which was a real possibility Friday night,
Dude,
it's
it was
never
real.
going to get hot.
It
And we
just
know the
break
PJ1
away.
is straight up ice on wet weather conditions.
Yeah.
Jeez.
What do you just lose that whole bottom lane of the racetrack?
I imagine,
right?
right?
Either that or
Like-
it turns
I
into,
really wanted it to rain Friday.
I did too.
I was like, I want to know what this happened. I want to know what happened.
Yeah.
I wanted it to rain for any of the races, to be honest.
Today would have been great.
For JFB, it was Lane Riggs who said that. The driver of the 34 truck.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. I feel like he's just a little jaded. They kind
I
of.
think he was just salty because he was a top 5 truck, like his teammate basically, and he did not make that last restart very well. He
No,
was
that
gone.
they kind of screwed up. Like he was good on the long run speed, but they kept screwing up. I think they lost a couple spots on pit road, and then restarts they weren't great. So they kept giving up a couple spots here or there. Like he would get it back on the run, but just
That's
I mean,
about it.
tough
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Tough day when you have the long run speed. You know, you should have won the race. You know.
Moving on into briefly hit F1. Pretty boring.
We watched.
It wasn't
me and
that
Matt did.
great.
I'm
I mean,
not
the
gonna-
first lap was kind of cool because they were
It's-
bottoming
It's
out.
always the first lap, though. The first lap's always
okay,
the
I'll
interesting
say the
part.
first 5 laps
Okay.
were pretty good. There was a little beating and banging, but it was kind of par for the course. Honestly, I think the only time I'm really going to start watching F1 is if it's going to rain. That's the best F1
Yeah.
race you're going to watch is if it's raining.
What's
Yeah.
really interesting is today they continued the trend of the pole winner has won the race.
Yep.
Every single race this year.
I think it's been McLaren. I think McLaren's
So
won
I'm just gonna
every
start
race.
hitting that on Hard Rock bets.
You might as well.
Even if
Unless
it's
it
only like
rains.
plus
No,
50% money.
Verstappen, I think, won last week.
He wasn't on the pole though.
No, they said
No.
it on the broadcast today.
No, he was. I think he was the pole, or he led
They,
like
they
flag
said
to
on the
flag.
broadcast today that everyone who's qualified pole has won the race.
Yeah,
this year.
that's a problem.
F1 is a whole problem.
Well, yeah. I
There's
thought
even
it was
more news with F1.
Well, yeah, you were
We'll get
talking
into
about it.
it.
Go.
You wanna
wanna
jump
go
into it?
Yeah, we're
might
there.
as well.
So apparently, F1's media deal is up at the end of this year.
and they're with ESPN.
They're with ESPN.
Yeah.
F1 on a dirt track would be cool.
We could do that.
Put them on dirt Bristol.
About it.
We don't need Miami.
Dirt
Just
Miami.
Take them to Bristol.
Just put them in the Everglades. Let them run.
Have fun.
So
Everglade Grand Prix. That's about it.
wild. So
I mean,
basically,
with the money they have, they can basically turn them into airboats.
you really could. You put
Watch
some
out!
on
Watch
the
out
front.
for the Gators.
Whoa, gonna go get the gator.
Smooth operator.
It's funny.
So anywho, the media deal for F1 I think is up. It's either end of this year, so starting 2026, or end of 2026. It's one of those. It's within the next year or two,
Got it.
right? F1 currently has, I want to say, a media deal for like 70 or 80 million, somewhere kind of in that range.
For however many years, right? Not
Yeah.
per year.
Right.
Okay.
So they already have that standing, and F1 wants to double it. They want to double it.
How are you gonna do that?
There has been no offers.
I can't
That's
imagine
great.
why.
Nobody has offered to take over this coverage. So it's going to be interesting. There's no conclusion to this. This is just what.
Hold
we've
on.
been
Is
seeing
this
online.
this is just in the U.S. though? To be clear, or
Yeah.
is
the
Sure.
media package?
For
Yeah,
you,
I mean,
For
yes,
US.
we'll say U.S.
Okay.
just because I'm not 100% sure.
because I'm
but
assuming
like what
it's,
ESPN. I don't know if ESPN is global, but
no, they
Yeah.
use Sky
Skynet.
Sky Sports, or
Skynet.
and that,
Sky something. I think.
now Max Verstappen's making sense. I will win race.
I was gonna say the
use a
T1000.
T1000.
Smooth operator.
Just knife handing his way to the champion.
So they
I
want to
need your-
double
I
it.
need your clothes and
They
your
want
jacket
at least
now.
they want at least 200
Ah.
million or 190 to 200 mil, and nobody is picking up the deal.
Yeah.
For the
So
United
we
States.
talked about this during the race. I think it's because I think it's a Formula One. Like, I guess it's part of their deal where you're not going to show commercials during their race. So the question is, how do you make money?
How do you make money?
How do you make
Yep.
money
That's
if
the
you
problem.
can't sell commercials?
I've never understood why they don't do like
Their
pop
own.
up banners or
They
like
don't do anything.
you know how like you'll be watching
Nobody
something
sponsors
and
the
it'll
white
just
flag.
go from a full screen to like a little and it'll have like a banner
Yeah,
around the outside.
Yep.
I don't know why they don't do stuff
they
like
do
that.
it. They do it in the NBA. Like I was watching
Yeah.
the Magic game today, and
Not
I
like a
mean,
banner,
and
but like it
T-Mobile
literally-
popped up, and it was literally a whole the right side and the bottom, like a whole L shape,
Yeah.
and it was
But
just
what about the white flag lap? Nobody sponsors.
no one sponsors. No one
Come on,
sponsors.
Credit One.
Hey, do they have Wheelan sponsor their safety lights for when there's a caution?
No,
I don't
Like-
think so.
There's a lot of different ways you can
monetize.
do it,
Yeah.
monetize without having to do commercials.
Matt made a great point. He thinks the Formula One audience in America is dwindling, and I do too. The racing sucks, man.
Yeah,
It's not good.
Straight
I
up.
don't know how you want to sell
I
that
would
to
rather
people.
watch that terrible Bristol race than watch this F1 race today. It was terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's atrocious.
the only thing that today's race at least had a little bit of strategy. You know, there was a little bit of the multiple
It was
tire
the same
strategy.
of what it always is.
I agree, but at least there was that kind of made it a little interesting. But no, I'm with you. The Bristol race, I would rather
Not
watch.
really.
The
it's
Bristol
all
race.
predetermined, and nothing changes after the
Yeah.
lights go out.
The only thing I'd have to say with the Bristol race today was it. If you're not paying attention to any of the leaderboards or anything, it looked pretty good because you'd see Larson like going in and out of traffic and
That is
Yeah.
true.
3 wide.
A
and stuff.
casual fan
But
would probably
knowing
like it.
that like second is 4 seconds behind him, which is almost a whole turn, like
Yeah.
he's just having fun. You know what I mean? But it looks great. 3 wide, 4 wide. People are taking the high line. It's not just a
Tracks,
train the
cars,
whole way.
cars all over the track. Yeah,
It looked great,
Yeah.
but the actual product, it's like when we watch Super Speedway and they're 4 wide, looks fantastic. We know they're going 170 miles per hour. They're not dry. Like, it's just potato.
I'm like having a hard time believing F1 fans actually like F1.
I
I
don't
think
think
they
they
just like it
exist.
to be different. I think they just.
I like it to be ironic.
it's like
I also drink
full
a
on
hazy
hipster
IPA.
stuff where it's just like, yeah, I just like it. It's I don't know.
I sometimes
I agree with
Give
you.
me a
I really
Sometimes-
do.
Like
I think
Sporting
Formula
One.
One fans just want to feel more enlightened than everybody else. They're just like, I only watch Formula One.
yeah,
Like, I don't watch the
more
NASCAR.
distinguished.
Yeah, no.
So I literally I sit
Blimey.
down with Elliot.
Rubbish.
Rubbish.
My boy Elliot, he's never watched the F1 race, so we sit down this morning. I'm like, all right, Elliot, you want to watch this? He's like, yeah. He's like, what is this? He's like, why do the cars look so weird? I'm like, I don't know.
Nobody knows.
It looks so weird. It's
Science.
crazy.
I was like,
It's
Elliot,
science.
this is what's considered the most premier motorsports in all the world. This is the best, is what they say. Anyways, check it out. And so he's like, all right, watch. And then we would literally watch one lap. He's like, why are they all yelling? Nothing's happening.
He did say that, yep.
He's like, they're not even going that fast.
He's like, why is everyone
was
yelling?
like-
I was like, it makes it exciting. But they're not touching each other. Exactly. I know.
See,
This is life.
so I was
It's like that classic welcome to Formula One.
so I was talking with a buddy of
He
mine,
made
right?
it about 3 laps. He's like, Daddy, I'm gonna go watch Fortnite. This is
So I'm not. So I was talking with a buddy of mine, and we were talking about it. And I'm like, that's the thing. Like, if you could take the announcers from F1 and put them in a NASCAR race,
oh, it's over.
done. You have the greatest
Yeah.
series of racing ever. Because they make stuff sound so interesting. And Max Verstappen passes one person on the outside. Wow, that was amazing.
We're getting there.
He just made a one pass.
I mean, he was just
We have
excited
lead
because
if
the
he wants.
only
Even like
pass
you're like
in-
3 car lengths behind. He's like, he's in the DRS. Will he get there? No. And it's like nothing happened. There's still 3 car lengths apart.
No, and I just crack up because like I was watching today's race, and they're like, and he's absolutely on a heater. He's gone up and passed 5, and I'm like, oh, that's funny because we passed like 12 on like 10
We
laps.
passed the whole field.
Yeah,
We
like
lapped the whole field.
Larson lapped everyone but 9 cars.
Blaney had the entire
He had the whole
race
field.
lapped.
Bro, I was waiting for a caution to come out during that just to be like, is it just all gonna hit the fan at one time?
That's just like we need.
I'm not
would
gonna
be
lie.
Blaney's
actually
gonna be able
wild.
to come get pit new tires. Everybody else is gonna take a wave around. So it'll be Blaney on 50 lap fresher tires and everybody else. Like, just buy.
Honestly, I kind of wish it happened so NASCAR would be like, we need to fix this. You
I
know
wish-
what?
I wish
Horsepower
it-
is the answer.
I wish it would have happened just so Blaney could have been like, nah, I'm staying out. She's like, nope, just to
I
prove
ain't
a
giving up
point.
the lead at this point.
I'm not. I ain't
That
even
would be
leaving.
wild.
He just pulls the wolf
I ain't
out.
even leaving.
That'd be
Anywho.
hilarious. All right.
was
So,
fun.
so in other news,
Wait, do we want to touch IndyCar real quick?
yeah,
Just 'cause
yeah,
we
let's
did
do that.
watch
That's not in the notes.
Is it
'cause
over?
I
Yeah.
think it just ended.
Kirkwood won.
Who?
Kirkwood.
Oh, okay.
He was on pole, right?
I think so.
And won the race. This has been a day of get on pole or close to the front and you're going to win.
Yeah, basically.
But he pretty much dominated the whole race, too.
Pretty close.
This is a dominating day of motorsports.
I was really excited for today's sports and motorsports because it all was kind of falling in line and stuff like that. And
The minute I saw the sun at Bristol, I knew it was,
so
it was a bad day.
The F1 race was
Sad, bad day.
bad. The Indy race was also bad.
They should
The
run at 4 in
NASCAR
the
race was
morning.
bad. The Magic lost, which whatever, big surprise. I
Who
know.
cares?
Not new now.
I know. But anyway, it's just like, man, all my like sports events today just like crapped out on me.
Have you been
I mean,
keeping up
I
with
mean, the
cricket?
first turn of the
No.
the first turn of the IndyCar
Neither
race
have
was
I.
cool,
And then after that,
and then they single filed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
until
So-
they didn't even make it to the fountain before they single filed.
I think their warm up race
They had no
was a little
cautions
bit more.
either, right?
I don't think so.
The warm up race was better than the actual
Right.
race. They ran into the back of each other on that.
Even
You talking about
even the
warm up at
IndyCar
12 o'clock today? Yeah, there was a wreck in the warm up.
even the IndyCar commentary was better.
Well,
I
the Fox booth sucks.
I just like what Robert says in the
the
chat.
Fox NASCAR booth.
The F1 announcer. And Lawson is in the lead again and again and again.
Absolutely
Just-
dominating performance from
For-
Kyle Lawson, driver of the number 5.
thing.
4 seconds ahead. Kyle Larson manages to still keep the lead with Hamlin on his tail, half a track behind.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Another news: Penske was invited to the White House with the championship drivers.
That was cool.
Okay.
Ryan Blaney is the best driver.
I wanna
at
talk about
Penske.
that.
I do think it was funny because clearly Matt wrote this note because the first thing after that statement is no Cindric.
Cindric wasn't invited. I thought that was weird.
I mean, he's not.
How are you
That
going to
was
invite
weird.
the team and not Cindric?
I
mean, he's a Daytona 500 winner.
Yeah, but they invited the IndyCar guys. Some
No,
of the
he's,
IndyCar guys
his most recent accomplishment is winning at Gateway
That's fair.
when his teammate ran out of fuel.
I get it. I'm just saying, I thought it was a little weird that they had Blaney, Logano, Roger, a whole bunch of IndyCar guys, and no Austin.
That was weird.
I just thought it was weird. I thought it was a little like
Yeah.
black sheepish, kind of like, hey, you're
Win-
not invited
Win
to the
something there, boy.
yeah, You're not allowed to see drama.
In
Like,
addition,
you know what I mean?
the Penske guys for the IndyCar program were also invited, and the Rolex 24 winners were also invited. That's cool.
Yeah. I did find it hilarious. Every photo I've seen, they stuck Blaney in the back, and that's just hella rude because he's short compared to everyone else there. Like, they did not follow the rule of short people up front. Like, Logano standing in front of him, Rogers standing in front of him, and you just see Blaney on his heels, like, smiling.
And then wasn't it even like Newgarden, because Newgarden's not short either. He's tall.
standing in front of Blaney.
It was probably just like a Daytona race where Logano just pushes him out of the way, like, get in the back, Blaney.
Push me, Blaney.
Push me, Blaney, one more time.
Stop. All right. So more Legacy Motor Club news. Legacy Motor
This
Club.
junk is wild.
Yes.
Legacy Motor Club now has a restraining order on Rick Ware.
Rick Ware Racing.
Rick Ware
That's
Racing.
it. Leave
Yeah,
the
sorry.
note. Don't say anything else. It makes it sound way worse than it is.
So they were restraining. I'll kind of get into it. We don't have to read the whole thing because it's really lengthy. But basically, this has to come from the lawsuit that was filed last week.
Yep.
Because Legacy Motor Club is buying one of Rick Ware Racing's
Charters.
charters, right? They specified everything.
Allegedly.
Hold on. Are they buying or are they leasing?
Buying.
Buying.
Okay. got it.
$45 million
Woo.
is the estimated cost for the worst charter in the field.
Which makes a difference because
A huge
based off of where
difference.
you are in points determines your payout at the end of the year with the charters.
Yes.
Correct.
Correct.
Right?
So this is the lowest performing charter goes for $45 million.
So RWR
Dang.
is obviously saying, hey, we actually sold this for the 2027 year. And they're saying, no, this is for the 2026 year. Everything's ramped up for 2026. Right? So, as far as this goes, and if they win, and they should win, I'm like,
Who?
Front row.
Legacy.
Legacy's my bad.
Thank you. Yeah, don't throw them into this. Legacy should win this case. If Legacy wins this case, they're getting Ryan Priest's charter because it's a better performing charter, right?
No, that's the charter that was bought in the agreement.
Exactly. Yes. Thank
So
you.
it's actually the second worst charter, but
jeez.
still.
Yes. So they're buying the 60 charter.
I need a board.
I know this is really crazy. RFK has a multi-year lease in agreement with Rick Ware Racing
For a charter.
for a charter, not specified.
Okay.
So they would get the 15 charter,
Which is a lower performing charter.
which is
Which
fine.
doesn't matter.
This just means Rick Ware Racing is out of the Cup Series next year. There's no Rick Ware Racing. They have no more charters
Which means the one caution we got today doesn't happen.
unless they switch manufacturers.
Wait, why?
Ooh.
There's 4 provisional charters.
Ooh.
Come
If-
on, Hyundai.
I'm not saying it's gonna happen.
Wait. Are you
We
saying
need-
Honda or Hyundai?
Hyundai. We need yellow flags.
I'm just saying.
Anybody.
I think Nissan should come in
If
so we
they
have an Altima.
switch manufacturers and they get a Cup manufacturer, which is not gonna happen. I
Wait, who made the El Camino?
could
That's
not
who should
believe it
go.
would happen.
Chevy.
Right?
Come on,
Oh.
Chevy. There's your new car. El Camino.
They technically have 4 charters. They could grab 2 of those or something like that. That's the only way they're in. That's the only way I see Rick Ware Racing continuing in the sport as of the 2026 season.
That's a little
yeah.
weird.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, like
That is
They
wild.
sold they sold all the pieces.
somebody in their inventory.
Somehow I'm bankrupt.
So, well, the whole thing with it though, Rick Ware says this is where it gets a little spicy because Rick Ware says Legacy changed the year without notifying them, but they signed the documents.
yeah,
okay,
I mean,
well they
come
didn't
on.
read it. Like
If you didn't read the document you signed, like, it's kind of on you. Oh, it was in DocuSign. I just clicked the button too quick and I didn't read the numbers. Well, that's your fault.
that's your fault.
Did you listen to DBC?
No,
No.
I did not. No,
Are you a fan of it this year?
no,
I really kind of like it.
no. Not a fan. The only reason I listen are for the guest appearances.
Really, I like Tommy. He's
I-
pretty good. He's
yeah.
like he's just off the.
I'm
cuff.
not gonna
And I
lie.
like what's her name? Dale Earnhardt's niece,
Carson.
Carson. I like her.
I'll tell you later. I'm just not
Alright.
a huge fan.
She's just like I just like how much she's just totally like just completely abrasive.
It's just rude.
She's better than.
I'm not
Casey.
gonna lie. I miss Brett.
Oh god, I miss Brett and TJ.
Yeah,
TJ at least being on Dale Jr. is like
kind of helps.
it works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like
No,
it.
it's a good. The
But I'm-
Tuesday
They
show's
fit
great.
really well.
I do miss Brett though.
Yeah.
I know
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of people. I know a lot of people can't stand him, but
I
like,
want him to
miss
have his own show now, bro. Like
Yeah,
Tesla to NASCAR.
Tesla and NASCAR, absolutely not.
They got to make an
Cybertrucks.
engine first.
The pit stops are Neuralink downloads.
They can only go about 30 laps, and they got to wait about 60 to change batteries. No, so I don't know, man. Anyways,
We just skipped the last note on there too.
What
It's
is
kind
it?
of irrelevant. Just the diecast prices
Diecast.
going up.
Because of tariffs.
oh, that is
I did hear about that.
it's such a massive amount.
It's going
Yeah,
up.
they're going. I
like,
think elites
the
are
thing
going
is, like,
from
okay, tariffs have been
120
paused.
to 150.
I heard
Yeah.
85 to 100 for like the main. The
They're
Pretty
going to
standard.
150 for elites.
150.
So here's
for
my
elites.
thing: tariffs were suspended for 90 days, so price increases is suspended, right?
No, you better hope Ross wins.
Right now.
Come on, you got 90 days, bud.
No, I already told you. I already showed y'all what I bought. I can't afford any diecast. Ross, it's okay if you don't win this year.
Oh
I'm out of
gosh.
money.
I'm afraid if he doesn't win, he's gonna lose Bush.
I don't think so.
I mean, Kevin Harvick
So-
didn't win. And
It was
he
Kevin
lost.
Harvick though.
I didn't put it in here,
Fair enough.
but I do have another note for news. Did y'all hear Jimmy Johnson's podcast?
No,
He has
Or
a podcast?
He attended another podcast. He dropped news. He said 2027 spending cap is coming. 100%. It's coming. They're working on it right now. It's coming 2027.
Okay,
Kinda-
explain what's that benefit? Spending cap.
Nothing.
Oh, so that just means nothing.
Are
It's
you
useless
hurting
news.
Hendrick Motorsports because they can't make money? They haven't made money for 20 years. They don't make money.
Right.
But does it level the playing field for other teams? Help level it a little
Yeah,
bit?
Parody's doing what? for
Oh, I know.
Yeah, we've had what?
I'm aware.
How many winners have we had? We've had 8
What,
winners.
four?
4 winners. 2 Toyotas.
Oh, you have Bell,
Bell. Gibbs.
Larson, Hamlin,
Byron.
The
Byron,
only odd
Barry.
one. Barry's the only odd one out.
You have 5 winners.
And he's a Penske. I mean, he's kind of a Penske car. So
Wood
I mean,
Brothers.
Right.
Yeah,
No, I'll give you
Penske.
that, but like kind of like a
quasi Penske.
no one
This
else is
was the
winning.
9th race or 8th race of this season?
9th or 8th. I can't remember.
I
I
think
could look
8th.
it up. I don't remember.
Larson's got 2 wins.
I think it's 8.
Byron's got 1.
We have 5 winners, 8 races.
3, 2, 1. Yeah.
It's interesting. I don't think we hit 16 this year. I
No,
kinda thought
there's
we
no way.
might.
I'd be shocked if we hit 10. I'm gonna be honest. At the way we're going, 10 winners, I'd be shocked.
Wow.
I'm serious.
This is race
Nine.
number 9.
I mean, I know
9.
you are.
Yeah, I'm serious. I think there's been good growth.
5
sure.
5 winners, 9 races.
I think there's been good growth for sure in the
Wow.
sport, but the
But
parity's
at some,
just
but at
it's-
some
it's
tracks
gone.
it hurts bad. Darlington, it hurt bad.
Yeah.
The parity was painful.
Yeah.
I think this car. I think we're time for the 2.0 of this car. I'm ready.
We're time for some big
Ready
change.
for the
up.
2.0 of this car.
I
Take
think
the stupid wing off.
Gotta do something.
Flipping at Michigan. What are we doing?
Gotta do something. Flipping at Las Vegas.
Flipping at Las Vegas.
What
are
are we
doing?
doing? Why are we flipping at Vegas?
Daytona Talladega is like, yeah, that's gonna happen. Like, why are we flipping at Las
I still
Vegas?
don't know why we don't just say, you know what, we're just going to try a race with 1,000 horsepower. Like, why not try it? Just give us one. Give us one and then shut the fans up if it doesn't work. Because then it's like,
Who's
all right,
excited
well,
for
I think,
All-Star
I think-
Weekend?
I think mile and a half's like you don't have to do anything.
no, I agree. So, okay.
All-Star
All-Star.
Weekend, North Wilkesboro. I can't wait to just be absolutely bored out of my mind and come in here and just complain about it the whole time.
Yeah.
That Larson's
Sorry,
Repaved,
Vance.
brand new track, short track. It has all the ingredients for it to be a terrible race are all there.
Yep.
Excellent.
Logano's going to
One
win.
tire, perfect.
All
Logano's
right,
going to
new
win.
rule for All-Star race. We're gonna only give them 3 tires.
You guys thought I was crazy, man. I'm
They have
telling
to
you,
source the
the
fourth
2-tire
tire.
option is pretty fun.
No, I've kind of switched. Like I kind of want it because the short track racing sucks.
Hold
which
on,
is
hold on.
just Terrible.
You say 2 manufacturers or 2 different tires?
2 tire options.
Okay, so not manufacturers.
I was a little heated last time we talked about tires. I
No,
don't
we
I don't
should
think we should have
definitely not
2
do
manufacturers.
Although maybe that's what it takes to get them to get competitive and spend some money.
Maybe.
Maybe. I did watch a race. It was an old 80s race where they were throwing Hoosiers on. They had the Goodyear hard tire and the Hoosier soft tires. It was an old 80s race.
Hey,
I think at
you know what?
Darlington or something like that. And
short
they're like,
tracks.
oh, he's coming on. He's putting on the softer Hoosiers. Why didn't you want the Goodyears? The Goodyears just last too long. I need something a little more grip.
funny
I'll
how-
tell you, history is literally repeating itself right
I
now.
gotta find you a video that talks about how dark the tire wars were.
Oh, I believe you. I believe
It's wild.
Yeah.
It's interesting though. It's an interesting bit of history, but it's pretty.
I know
wild.
was Talladega was a big part of that, wasn't it? When it came
That
in?
wasn't so much the tire war thing. It was more the track and the just everything about
the
it.
leadership force in that one.
Yeah, it just
I
they
can't remember.
brought the same tire they normally ran at Daytona, but there's something about Talladega. I think with it being wider, and a little bit bigger, they could run wide open. Truly, at Daytona, they couldn't quite.
Maybe that's what it
So
was.
that little bit more speed, they couldn't. The tire wouldn't hang.
Yeah. Okay. I remember there was something about tires. People concerned about the first race there. I just couldn't remember what it was.
Yeah, no, I mean it definitely was a tire issue. They could only run like 3 laps.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's wild. The tire war goes into it. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
All right. So next week, because we pretty much ran out of things to talk about for this
We're
week.
kind of off next week. I mean, we got Xfinity. Is
Yeah.
Trucks
Trucks?
going to be there? Trucks? Yeah.
Trucks.
Trucks and Xfinity at
Rockingham?
Rockingham.
Aren't the Racing Addict guys? Are they going?
Should be.
They are going. Yeah.
Are they?
I
Unless
think
plans have
I
changed.
heard they said they were going.
I know y'all listen, man. So have fun.
Yeah.
I wish
Should
we
be
were going.
awesome. Let us know. Take cool photos.
Absolutely.
For sure. All right. So yeah. So did we decide if we were definitely doing a thing on Saturday?
So like Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
live, post.
Yeah, so
The
we'll
Rock.
probably do a post race after the Xfinity. We're not 100% sure because it is Easter weekend, so we'll see. But if not, we'll definitely keep an eye on our socials and stuff like that. We'll definitely let you guys know what we're doing. But you guys got anything? Jake's looking something.
Yeah, I do have a real question.
Okay.
Oh, did we get a question of the
If
week?
Chevy brought back the El Camino, would it run in the truck or the Cup?
Oh.
Xfinity, actually. Believe it or not. Hybrid model.
I don't.
I have no clue. I mean, I would want to say truck.
I was gonna say that'd be
No,
What
it's
is
a
it,
car.
car?
It'd be in the car. Have to be the car.
Car,
Why?
no, truck.
It's not a truck chassis,
It has a truck bed.
but
got a
it's not a
bed.
truck chassis
It's got a
How
bed.
do you know?
because I had a friend that had one.
Okay,
that's
convertible series.
That's some Xfinity
Bingo. That's a convertible series.
We're there. Big
Listen,
brains.
I
Big
like-
brains bring big results.
Listen,
That really took you a lot of effort to say that.
You know, I stumbled through it the first time, so
Yeah. Well,
You know what's crazy? It's been 21 years since we've been back at Rockingham.
wow.
Jeff
I'm only
wasn't
28,
even
so I
born
was
yet.
7.
I'm older than Matt.
Calm down, Grandpa. Back in my day,
Back
The
in
Rock was
my
popular. Is Casey Kane running?
We called it the Rock,
I
and
mean,
we
Matt
had to
and I are
share the
Matt
Rock.
and I are basically the same age. Y'all are the old ones.
That's
That's
true.
why you're over there.
No, that's DJ.
I am the old one.
He's the old man.
You're not that much younger.
Yards are cars?
Yurts?
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 At
Oh,
first I-
utes. Is that a ute? That's what they call it over in Australia. They call them utes.
I'm not
Wow.
gonna lie.
Wow.
At first, when I first read that, it said y'all are cute. I was like, whoa, hey, whoa, hey.
JB chill.
All right, y'all. It's been fun hanging out with you guys, but we got to go. Make sure you like, follow, and share on all social platforms: Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok. Join our Discord community by
TikTok.
fans, for fans, and definitely make sure you check us out because we're dropping all kinds of content on all our platforms. So we will see you guys next week after The Rock.
Good night.
Take it, y'all. Take it easy.
Yee yee.